Hello everybody, I'm going to ask you to bear with me because I think this is one of my angry videos, but I hope you will understand as I continue to talk to you. There have been some ideas floating around from individuals in Morocco that if a federation is set up to bring all the charities together, we'll be stronger to put pressure on the government to change the future, to change, promote education, change the next generation. I've heard it all before and I'm sure I'll hear it all again. But what I discover, and I am really proud about, not for myself, but for everybody who works here that is doing these videos, has more of an impact in educating, and I hate to sound as if I'm a teacher, I don't mean that at all, but in terms of people becoming aware of what is happening and how they may themselves change things. And that's the power of social media. And you have to do it regularly, like I do. And even if it changes the thinking of one or two people, maybe here in Morocco, that is just huge. Now, what I'm going to rage about this morning is our baby horse. You have read about her over the last couple of days, and yesterday we were so thrilled because we found it wasn't the fetlock that was broken, that's the ankle, but it was actually damage to the hip, and the vet was sure that if we could drain the fluid and treat the hip, the foal would survive. I have to tell you, I've just been down to see the foal and I'm hugely upset. She is so much worse, and although we've given her painkillers, she is suffering. And I've asked Ayub to phone the vet immediately, and he's on the way out. And the possibility is that I would agree, and it's always me that has to agree this, with the boys working with them, that we have to euthanize and put this lovely, lovely little creature out of its agony. Now, what has really enraged me is that Ayub has told me, because he's questioned, he's asked around, and well done on you, Ayub. And the story is that the person who bought this little horse bought it for just over 1,000 dirhams. That's about 100 euros. And horses are being sold so cheaply now and in the souks, for obvious reasons, a result of the pandemic. And not only are people buying horses to pull carts, because a horse is seen as more prestigious than a mule, but it means that these horses are pulling carts and mules are being abandoned. And the reality is, even though I don't like the thought of the carts being pulled, the horse is not as strong as the mule. So there is going to be incredible suffering in the future, I fear. In terms of the little horse, the person who bought it, I hope you're all sitting down. He bought this horse for his children, and his children were riding it. And of course, it fell. It isn't old enough or strong enough to be ridden. It has this horrendous injury. I didn't know the background until I was told this morning. But really, people have got to understand that horses, donkeys, mules should not be ridden, I say, until they're 3. I'm sure I have colleagues in the UK who will say it should be older, but they must be strong enough and their bones must be strong enough to be able to work or be ridden. Now, we're not going to change things overnight. We really aren't. And I doubt very much that all the lobbying of the government would make very much difference to animal welfare at the moment, because we have people starving. We have some wealthy Moroccans who are doing very well out of the pandemic, I'm sure, like every other country. But we have people in the countryside and in the High Atlas who literally are starving. And I heard of one man who could only afford to eat once in 3 days. Now, any responsible government in this society, in this culture, is going to put the people first. It's up to us who are working with the animals and the people to bring about a connection between the two, so that ultimately it is seen that the animals are just as important to the people and for the people. I was talking to colleagues as well, and I am so grateful for support. I say it every time, that goes without saying. I can't send out newsletters and letters all the time, but you can hear me, you can watch me, and I'm so appreciative. And everyone who contributes is welcome here. They will be part of the Georgia community, and it's because of you we can keep going. We are very worried that we get into a situation where we do get financial support from the government, but with that comes restraints, because we are opening frontiers by saying that we are continuing to care for injured equines, donkeys who've worked all their lives and have lost a hoof, and we will do everything we can to support them, and the old, the aged. There's a real worry that if we took financial help from the Moroccan government at the moment, understandably, that they may not be happy to provide for those animals that traditionally have been left to die or be euthanized. So it's something we have to think about very carefully. I think we have to look for grants, and we have to look for grants from animal welfare organisations in Europe and the New World, and we have to continue doing what we're doing, because we are having an impact. We are changing people's attitudes. Of that I have no doubt at all, and I hope you would be with me. And I'll finish by saying I don't sit on this video and ask for money. I can't bear the constant begging, but people must understand that every time a horse or a mule is brought here, that costs us another £1,000 a year, and a donkey about £800 a year. Our outgoings are huge, as you can imagine, and I certainly don't want people who donate to donate more. They're doing their very best, but I would like more people who perhaps don't donate to just think that a price of a cup of coffee in Starbucks and lots of those cups of coffee would really help us continue in what I do see, and I say unashamedly, as pioneering work. We're not about treating working animals to return them to work. We're about providing care, compassion and retirement for animals that have been injured as a result of their work and can no longer work and are no longer value to their owners, and owners who very often can't afford to keep that donkey but must buy another working donkey. It isn't easy, it's complicated, there are all sorts of diverse and conflicting views, but I promise you we do our best. We're prepared to listen, and we will never stop trying. So bye for now from all of us here, and I will let you know about the baby horse later in the day.